The afternoon was very peaceful. I decided to spend some time reading. I picked up a simple book in English and read slowly. I like reading in English because it helps me learn new words and at the same time it feels relaxing. Whenever I found a word I did not know, I underlined it and tried to guess the meaning from the sentence. Then later, I looked it up in the dictionary. Reading slowly like this is not only good practice, but also enjoyable. After reading for about an hour, I felt a little hungry because of my tooth. I still needed to eat something soft. So I made a bowl of vegetable soup. I cut some carrots, potatoes, and a little pumpkin into small pieces. Boiled them until they were soft and then blended them into a creamy soup. I added a little salt and pepper for taste. The soup was warm and smooth, and it felt good on my sore tooth. I ate slowly, one spoon at a time, while listening to some soft music in the background. When I finished my soup, I cleaned the kitchen and then sat near the window again. Outside, I could see the sun slowly moving down. The light was softer, now golden and warm. The sky had some pink and orange colors. Birds were flying back to their nests. A few people were walking home from the market with bags in their hands. I enjoyed just sitting there and watching the evening arrive. Later, I decided to write in my journal. I like to keep a simple notebook where I write about my day. I do not write anything complicated, just small notes like what I did, how I felt, or what I learned. Writing a journal helps me remember the small moments, and it also makes me feel thankful for the little things. Today, I wrote about my dentist visit, the walk in the park, the children with paper airplanes, and my afternoon nap. Writing about these moments made me smile because they were simple, but they made the day feel special. After writing, I spent a little time practicing English. I listened to an English podcast and I repeated some sentences out loud. Repeating helps me improve my pronunciation. I also tried to copy the rhythm of the speaker. Even if I did not understand every single word, I still felt happy because I was practicing. The evening became darker, and I turned on the small lamp beside my couch. I made one more cup of tea, this time with lemon and honey, because I thought it would be soothing for my throat and also gentle for my tooth. I drank it slowly while looking through some old photos on my phone. Sometimes looking at old pictures brings back nice memories, and it makes me feel connected to the people I love. At around 8 o'clock, I decided to have dinner. I kept it light and soft again. I made some scrambled eggs and mashed potatoes. It was simple, but it was enough. I sat at the table with my food, feeling thankful that I had something warm to eat. After dinner, I cleaned the dishes and went back to the couch with my blankets. I turned on a movie, but I did not really watch it with full attention. It was just playing in the background while I relaxed. Sometimes I like having quiet sound in the room, so it does not feel too empty. After about an hour, I turned it off because my eyes started to feel heavy. Before going to bed, I brushed my teeth carefully again, washed my face, and put on my pajamas. I wrote one last note in my journal. Something small like today was not perfect, but it was peaceful. I'm thankful for the calm moments. Writing this before bed made me feel calm and ready to sleep. I lay down in bed, pulled the blanket up to my chin, and closed my eyes. My tooth still had a little pain, but it was less than before. The dentist's words made me feel safe, so I was not worried anymore. I listened to the soft night sounds outside, like a distant car passing, and the wind moving through the trees. Slowly, I drifted off to sleep again, this time for the whole night. When I woke up the next morning, the sun was shining softly through my window. I stretched my arm slowly and took a deep breath. My tooth was still a little sore, but it was not as bad as the day before. I feel thankful for that. Sometimes small improvements already make you feel better inside. I stayed in bed for a few minutes, just enjoying the warm blankets. I thought about the day before, and I realized how even a quiet day can be full of small lessons. It reminded me that life does not always have to be busy or exciting to feel meaningful. Sometimes peace and calm are just as important. I finally got up and went to the kitchen to make breakfast. This time I was able to eat a little more than the day before. I toasted some soft bread and spread butter on it. I also boiled an egg and had it with a little salt. And of course, I made myself a big cup of tea. Sitting with my breakfast, I thought about how thankful I was that I could eat a bit better. After breakfast, I opened the window wide to let the fresh air come in. The street outside was waking up. I could hear people walking, children laughing, and shopkeepers opening their stores. The world felt alive again. I smiled because even these simple sounds made me feel connected to others. I decided to go for a short walk in the park near my home. Walking always helps me think clearly. The air was fresh and the trees were green. I saw an older man walking slowly with his stick. I saw a young couple jogging together. I saw a group of teenagers sitting on the grass laughing loudly. Everyone was enjoying the morning in their own way. I sat on a bench for a while and watched. While sitting there, I thought about how learning English is a little like walking in the park. Some people move fast, some move slowly, but everyone is moving forward. What matters is not the speed, but the fact that you keep going. I wanted to share this thought with you because maybe sometimes you feel you are learning too slowly. But remember, even small steps take you closer to your goal. After my walk, I went back home and decided to clean my room. I opened the windows, folded my clothes, and organized my desk. Cleaning always makes me feel better. It is like cleaning the mind as well as the room. When I finished, the space felt lighter and brighter. Later, I sat at my desk with my notebook. I wanted to practice English writing again. This time, I wrote a short paragraph about the park and the people I saw there. I wrote slowly, checking my spelling, and then I read it out loud to practice my speaking too. Reading what I wrote made me feel proud. Even if it was simple, every small effort counts. By afternoon, I was hungry again. I made another soft meal. This time, pasta with a little olive oil and cheese. It was gentle enough for my tooth, but it was also tasty and filling. I ate it slowly while watching the sunlight coming in through the window. I thought about how food, even simple food, can bring comfort and joy. After lunch, I rested on the couch again. I listened to some calm music and closed my eyes. I did not fall asleep this time, but I just relaxed and let my mind rest. Sometimes we think resting is wasting time, but it is not. Rest gives us energy for the next things we need to do. In the evening, I decided to call a friend. We talked for about half an hour. She asked me about my dentist visit and I told her everything. We laughed about how strange it feels when dentists ask you questions while your mouth is open. Talking to her made me feel lighter. Friends are important because they share both our happy and difficult moments. When the sun started to go down, I stepped outside again to buy some fruit from the small grocery shop. The man at the shop smiled at me and gave me some very sweet bananas. I also bought a few apples and oranges. Carrying the bag home, I thought about how lucky I was to live in a place where fresh fruit was easy to find. Dinner was simple again, just rice and some soft vegetables. I ate slowly and thought about my day. I realized that even though nothing big had happened, I felt happy sometimes. Happiness hides in small things, like a warm meal, a good talk with a friend, or a short walk in the park. After dinner, I wrote in my journal again. I wrote about the park, about cleaning my room, about my pasta lunch, and about the smile from the fruit seller. I also wrote one small line to remind myself peaceful days are also beautiful. Writing this made me feel calm and thankful. Before bed, I read a few more pages from my English book. The story was simple, but I enjoyed following the characters. I underlined a few new words again. I whispered them out loud several times, trying to remember their sound. Learning words like this feels like adding small bricks to a wall. Slowly, the wall grows stronger. Finally, I brushed my teeth carefully, washed my face, and got into bed. I pulled the blanket over me and closed my eyes. The street outside was quiet. Only the soft sound of the wind moved through the night. I thought about my day and smiled. I knew tomorrow would be another simple day, but that was fine. Sometimes a calm life is the best life. As I drifted off to sleep, I felt thankful. Thankful for the food I ate, thankful for the walk I enjoyed, thankful for the friend I talked to, and thankful for the small lessons of the day. And I also feel thankful for you, my listener, because by sharing my story with you, I felt even more connected. So, my dear friends, remember this. You do not need to wait for big events to feel happy. You do not need a perfect life to feel peaceful. Look at the small things around you. Enjoy them and be thankful. Every little step you take, every word you learn, every moment you live, it all matters. You are growing even if you do not notice it right away. And that was my day, nothing too special, but still full of meaning. Thank you for listening with me. You do not need to remember every word. You do not need to understand everything. Just being here, just practicing is enough. Step by step, you are improving, and I will be here again with you, sharing more stories, speaking slowly and simply like a friend beside you. Until next time, take care of yourself, drink something warm, rest when you need to, and remember that you are doing better than you think. Goodbye for now and see you again soon.